Thanks for joining us. This is our third episode of Preferred Pest Podcasts, and today I'm here with Perry Cooper-Ryder, one of the owners of Preferred Pest Control here in Savannah, Missouri, and we are going to talk about some fall pests that we want to keep out of our homes.
Yeah, so this time of year, you're probably seeing some activity possibly from rodents. There could be some flying insects coming in as well, different things like that. So we want to talk about how we can stop them from coming into the house.
Okay, and why is it that we're seeing like an influx of them right now in this time of year?
You know, with it getting colder out, they are trying to find a nice warm spot. I know that during the fall and the beginning of winter, a lot of times some of the insects that you find in the springtime are actually ones that have been hibernating inside your walls all winter long. So like
those lady beetles.
The lady beetles.
That look like ladybugs, but they're not
Yes.
ladybugs, okay?
Yes.
I had a lot of calls about those.
Those went on a nice warm day. Sometimes in spring, I know it did happen a little while ago, a few weeks ago. Mm-hmm. They came out as a nice warm day. They come out on the south side when the sun's hitting the house, and they will pop out. What they're doing is they get up under that siding. They stay there all winter long, and then they come out into in the spring. Boxilla bugs is another big one.
Okay. So we're looking at stinging insects. We've been getting some calls about stinging insects.
Yes.
They're getting wasp inside their home. Why are they getting the wasp inside their home right now?
Same thing. They're wanting to stay warm, trying to get out of the cold air, and trying to find a place that they can stay warm throughout the winter.
Okay. So we're going to talk about a few things that we offer. We do full home exclusions. That we can help keep the pest out of your home. So a couple different things that we can do for customers. So a couple of jobs that we've had calls on recently are stinging insects. They're coming in through the chimneys, and actually the roof vents on top of the roof. Mm-hmm. The stinging insects can get inside there. The wasp, I was up on a house the other day. She had 10 of those roof attic vents, and of the 10, 5 of them had at least 10 to 15 wasps inside that vent. And then they can get in that vent, they can get right down into the attic, into the walls, into the home. So one thing that we offer for stinging insects are these vent covers right here. So we put them on top of the house. It's small enough that wasps are not able to enter, but it's still ventilated enough that they can still get the ventilation that your attic needs. So this is a really nice thing to have for insects, squirrels. Helps with hail damage. A lot of the houses that I get up on there, the tops of those roof vents are completely beaten up by hail. That's going to stop all the damage to your roof vent, so you don't have to actually replace that roof vent when you do get hail damage as well.
And the wasp, they'll actually get down into the fireplace as well. So we have chimney caps that we can put on it, and that will protect, and so wasp cannot get down into the chimneys as well.
Okay. Good deal. Yeah, we've got a few of those calls, and so we do offer things to eliminate the problem at first. So if you have wasps coming in through your chimney, we can go out there and do things to eliminate the issue at hand. But we really want to deep dive into how we can keep them from coming back in the future.
Yes, a lot of the times. For years, we haven't really offered exclusion. This is a newer service that we've just started offering, but a lot of times we get repeat customers, which is great, but if we could solve the problem one time and fix it for them so they don't have to have us come back year after year. But a lot of times with those wasps in those fireplaces, we have to go back to the same house year after year, and we continue to eliminate them. But then the next year they'll come back.
Right back. Okay. Same thing with mice. So mice are a huge issue right now. Lots and lots of calls about mice in their house. Lived here 10 years, and this is the first time that they've had them. Why is it that they're seeing them now versus before? What's happening?
You know, the mice, they are getting worse. The different chemicals and the different, not chemicals, the baits, the different things that are out there, they don't make things quite the way that they used to years and years ago.
Okay.
And mice breed extremely fast. So one thing about a mouse, it can have babies, mm-hmm. and they can have up to, they're called pups, they can have up to 14 of those.
Wow.
And then as soon as they get finished having the babies, they can get pregnant immediately after. Okay. So they can get pregnant usually between 5 to 10 times a year.
Wow.
With 14 babies each.
That's a lot. So. Yeah, that is. So it can grow really fast. The population can go really fast. So different ways when you get them in your home, what are they attracted to? What do mice like in your home?
They're looking for food usually.
Like pineapples?
Could be. They could go after pineapples. They could. They can go over your
dog
trash,
food, yeah.
dog food.
Mm-hmm.
So really keeping your food, your dog food, things in like Tupperware and plastic crates, so that way it's not just laying out there. Keeping your trash bagged up and put into a plastic bin, and getting it outside your house, getting it out of there. And making sure that all the seals and all the cracks are sealed up.
And those are things that we're going to do. So if I were to call in and I have this mouse problem and I call you guys and set up a treatment or a plan, what is it that we would do step by step?
So what we do first is we'd come out, we would assess the issue. We would put down bait boxes around the interior and exterior of the house. We would look for entry points. We'd want to see where those entry points are, and then we would probably, depending on what all is going on there, we may actually send our exclusion team out to try to give you a bid on what it would take to stop the problem and take care of it, because there's multiple things that we can do. And we'll kind of go over some of those different things here in just a moment. But and then we would come back a second time about a week later, and we would inspect all the boxes that we put out to see what kind of activity has happened.
Okay.
And then if activity is really bad in one area and another area the activity hasn't really touched it, we may end up moving those boxes around.
Okay.
We want to move everything around and not have the customers moving around, because mice and rats in particular, rats are very smart, and they can sense if you've been touching it. So we try to wear gloves. We want to make sure that we handle it correctly, because we do not want them to be scared to come eat the bait. And all that.
Okay, so we'd initially come in and try to get rid of the problem that we have right then and
Yes.
there. And while you're doing that, you're doing the inspection to see how are they getting in, where they're getting in. And it can take a few times, maybe a couple set of eyes, because of the spaces that mice and rats can get in. How small is
Yeah,
that?
so like a mouse can fit its body through the size of your pinky.
Wow, it's tiny.
Very tiny. And then a rat can fit its from your thumb, the size of your thumb.
Okay.
So if they can fit their head through it, they can condense their body down and they can go in.
Right. He showed a video the other day to all the technicians, and the video actually shows that a rat's ribs have what kind of hinge-like, and their ribs can fold under, so they are able to squeeze through those teeny tiny holes. So when we tell people sometimes, like the droppings that we find, those are rat droppings, not mouse droppings, they don't believe it. They're like, there's no way, there's no hole big enough. They don't need that big of a hole to get in the first place.
They don't.
And they're coming in other places, not just the hole. We've gotten calls where rats are coming up toilets right now.
Yes.
And it's scary. It'd be scary to open your toilet lid and see a rat
Yeah,
in
we
there.
get a few of those calls every year, is where they come up through the sewer lines, and rats are extremely good swimmers, and they can hold their breath for an extreme long period of time.
Okay.
So that kind of goes into one of the areas that we have. We have a thing that can actually stop the rats from coming up into your toilet.
Okay.
So this is a flange where we'll pull the stool, and it'll still flush the same way as it did, but you can see it has a flap on the bottom.
Nice.
So it will not allow the rats to come up through.
Okay.
So I know this is a newer product that we have, and I know years ago when we were having people come through, they were like, well, I wish there was something that was out there that could stop it from happening.
And something that simple.
So, but it is something that simple that will stop them from coming up. So that's something that we can actually
We'll go out and we'll install those for the customer. And
Yep, we can install
they don't have
those,
to do anything?
and they don't have to worry about nothing.
Cool. Yeah, I have a few customers that will love that, because they are deathly afraid, and I wouldn't want to sit on my toilet after there was a rat coming up out of it.
No.
So that's good to know that we do that. But so whenever we come out and do the inspection, that's what we're looking for. We're looking from bottom basement to actually the tippy top of the roof.
Yes, yeah, because a lot of times rats in particular are ones, there's roof rats that can come in through the roof.
Okay. And that's something fairly newer to the Midwest, correct?
It is new. They are migrating north, so a lot of the different insects and rodents are migrating north. So we're seeing every year we see a little bit more species of different things.
Okay. And that's something our technicians are trained on. They know where to look for the droppings, if they're up high, if they're down low, where to place the bait boxes, and then we'll get a better idea of where to look for what type of rat we're dealing with, or mouse, and how to go about eliminating that issue right then and there.
Yep,
so
absolutely.
things for the roof that we can do for roof rats or snakes or frogs, toads, any of those things. We have the plumbing pipes up on the roof. Have you seen those little...
Yeah, the air vents that from the drains.
Okay, and things can get down inside there and into the home.
Oh,
okay,
yeah.
and we do offer, it's called the Critter Quitter.
Yes.
And that just slides right over. We either have the 3-inch or the 4-inch. Some houses have one or the other. Some houses have both. And we just slide that over it, and it's really thick. I've had where I've got up on the roof, and the squirrels have actually chewed down that vent to where there's like a couple inches left is all that's left.
Right.
So instead of having to go out and call a roofer to completely replace these things, we can come put these over the top. It'll keep the squirrels away from chewing. It'll keep it's closed at the top there, so you can't get the snakes that are falling out of the trees going in there. And the snakes are just the same as all the other animals. They want to go. They're following the scent of the rodents. So if you see a big black rat snake in your basement, he's there for a reason. You probably have a rodent issue, so this helps eliminate lots of wildlife, not just the mice and rats.
Right.
So that's something that we offer for the roof. This is something we offer for the roof. What can we do about the bottom of the house, like the foundation?
So the foundation, there's all kinds of different things out there that we can do. We'll start off with the dryer vent. So a lot of times with dryer vents, you can actually, the lint will get collected. A lot of them have the plastic, the 3 slots, and a lot of times if there's a lot of lint coming out there, you'll walk by there and you can see that they're just permanently left open, or they're busted out.
Okay.
And a lot of times birds will start making roost in there,
Right.
A nest, and a lot of times mice can get in there. And that's a perfect spot for mice in the winter. It's a
Right.
warm spot. So we have these that we can actually, they're magnetic, they're metal. We replace them, and they will automatically seal shut. You can see as she opened it, there's a hole that goes all the way through, so there's nothing that's going to stop and hold the lint into
Okay.
place.
So it'll just flop open while it's blowing.
Yep.
And then as soon as the dryer turns off, it
shuts up.
So
Yep.
nothing can go back up in there.
Yeah, so and it does really good. It's also there's a lot of hot air that gets comes out of the house from that area as well.
Okay.
When the dryer's not running, of course.
Okay.
So it will protect against that as well.
Okay. Yeah.
So that's
And
one thing.
Can we also replace the actual ductwork as well? Because if mice get in there, they'll chew through that ductwork.
Yes.
And then there's an opening straight into the house. So we would replace the ductwork as well.
Yes, absolutely.
And not just this. So that's a simple fix to help keep the rodents out of your
Yep.
house. And birds, seen birds getting in there.
Yes.
So you're talking earlier about mice going up and insects also, so the little Japanese lady beetles going up under your siding.
Yes.
So we offer this, correct, for the siding
Yes.
wrap, foundation
Yeah.
wrap.
It's foundation wrap.
Okay.
So what happens there is we put that up over the foundation. The siding, it comes in so many different colors, and once it goes into place, I believe it goes like that.
I think Perry's here.
So it'll go up over the siding, and then it attaches to the foundation underneath. And so the insects, the lady beetles, the
Box elder
bugs, nothing can get in there. A lot of times mice will get up under the siding that way. That's another way they get into the house. So we can wrap the whole entire house in this. So no insects, no spiders, no ants, no
Crawl up in there?
no anything.
Okay. Well, and sometimes when I'm in basements, I'll see where there's like the little door, and that's like where the water shutoff is or whatever. And so there's a gap. It's just all they stick in there is just insulation.
Yep.
And so the mice, I see tunnel marks or little tunnels in the insulation where they run up between the siding and the foundation. They find that little hole and they get in, and then the basement is
Yeah.
open up for the mice.
Yeah.
So this is nice to stop
Yeah,
them.
and
we'll
like-
wrap the whole house.
We'll
with
wrap
that.
the whole house, and it comes in, I believe, over 30 some different colors, so we can
Lots of
match
shades.
sidings and all that stuff. So you won't notice it on your house at all.
Okay.
So that's one area. The other one that we have here, that actually is for metal sided houses
Okay.
and barns. So it goes up there.
So like when there's that gap, so like it's the wavy in the metal,
Uh-huh.
and so that'll go up in that gap where I see a lot of birds building nests.
Yep.
Okay.
So it'll stop them from coming in that direction.
Okay. I have put a few of these on, so this is just a little small sample of for crawl space entry points. So even squirrels, raccoons, there'll be a little crawl space entry. A lot of people just have boards boarded up over it, and there's big long gaps around it where anything can get in there. So we actually will custom build it and measure it to fit around your crawl space, so critters can't get in and out of that as well.
Absolutely.
So that's our foundation. Another good entry point are garages.
Yes.
So where are they getting in your garage?
So most of the time what happens from the garages, they'll come from two different areas. They'll either, where the garage doors meet the side of the house, they will chew away the plastic the
So that little seal that's
the-
like
yeah.
underneath the garage door that comes
and
with it?
they'll do the seal under the garage door or the seals on the side
Oh, okay.
that goes up the garage door post, and they'll make their way in there.
Okay.
I will say normally it's the garage door seal
Okay.
more than the sides, but you see it both ways.
Okay, and that's what this stuff is here that
Absolutely.
Rodex that we sell, correct?
Yes.
So we install this. And what's it do?
So what this is, it's a hard plastic that has metal fibers inside it. So the mice can't chew through it. As they start to chew through it, they'll hit that metal and they will stop. They won't go through that metal that's in there, and it will protect you for long periods of time better than just that thin plastic, that thin rubber seal that's underneath there.
Okay.
It will. This stuff will actually last.
Okay.
So
yeah, I think we
can
had a
put that-
customer call not too long ago, and they had just replaced the seal on their garage
Mm-hmm.
door. I think they said they spent like $5,000 to replace this seal. Within a week, the mice had already chewed through that seal. So this is something in that instance that we just installed on the back of the garage door, so it's not on the front. You can't see it. And then a good thing for you to do is when you go out to your garage, and something our technicians would do when we inspect, turn off the lights in the garage, and then we'd look at the doors to see if there's any light coming through at all. And we'd stick our fingers up under there. If our fingers fitting in there, a mouse is easily going underneath there. So that's something else we would look at when we're doing
Absolutely.
the inspections, right? Okay.
Yes.
What else do you have? Any other pointers or?
Yeah, we also have for other small holes that could be in foundations or around your air condition pipes or anything that water lines going into the house. We do have some sealant that we could put around there that actually it's in a tube that we shoot out that has metal fibers in it as well.
Oh, okay.
So it'll stop the rodents from being able to chew that and get in.
Okay, because a lot of people think just, I'll spray foam it and it'll be fine.
Yeah, spray foam, or they'll put silicone or something, and the mice will eat right through that as well.
Okay, so this will prevent them from chewing through it.
Yes, it
Okay,
will.
and that's things that we're all trained on, the technicians, when we come out. So we want to eliminate the problem you have at hand, but then we want to try to keep them from coming back in later on. So we don't
Absolutely.
have to see you next year. We
Yes.
want to see you, but we don't. We want you to save some money too.
That's right. That's right.
Okay, do you have anything else for our customers about our exclusions?
I don't believe so. Like I said, give us a call. We can come out there and put an estimate together to make sure that we can do what's right for you. Once we do full home exclusions, we can guarantee our services and guarantee that you're not going to have issues.
Okay.
But like I said, we'd love to get out there and see what we can do to help people.
What number do they call if they want to get a hold of us?
The 816-279-2000.
Okay, sounds good. It's been nice talking to you, Perry. I appreciate everything. I think we learned a lot today.
All right.
And just give us a call if you have any questions or concerns.
All right. Thanks,
Have a good day,
Jill.
guys. Thanks.
All right.